Hi, I'm Mr. Huber, and in this video we're going to talk about exercise 17. In exercise 17 we're given a rhombus, and we know that the area of that rhombus is 28 units of area, square centimeters, square meters, whatever. And we have to work out the length of the diagonals, and we know we have one more piece of information. One of the angles is 61 degrees. So that means as these two angles are equal and these two angles are equal, then these two must be 61 degrees, because these are the acute ones, the ones between 0 and 90 degrees. These two are the obtuse ones. So, as always, I'm going to label this one E and this one here F. So that's the diagonal F. So we know that E times F divided by 2 is 28. We saw that in a previous video. So that's the first piece of information. And we have a second piece of information. So first piece of information, a second piece of information, that this is 61 degrees. What can we do with this? Well, we know this here is E halves. And this here is F halves. And we know this is 30.5 degrees and this is 30.5 degrees. So you can use tangent, and that's your second piece of information. Look, tangent of 30.5 degrees is E halves over F halves, which can then be written as E over 2 times 2 over F, which leads to E over F. We've done this quite a few times now. Now, your first piece of information could be written as E times F is equal to 56. You multiply everything by 2. And your second piece of information now, when simplified, can be written as tangent of 30.5 degrees is equal to E over F. Okay. Now we have two equations in two unknowns, two simultaneous equations, two equations that have to be satisfied simultaneously. So that means you have to find an E and an F that satisfies both equations at the same time. So that's not too hard. So let's isolate here F. Okay. F is 56 divided by E. And plug this in here. That's how we reduce the number of unknowns. Now look, your second piece of information, second equation, becomes this. I know this is quite hard, but I know you can do it. Okay, so E divided by this whole term, so 56 divided by E, which then leads to E times E over 56 multiplied by its reciprocal, which leads to E squared is equal to 56. Now, what have we got? We have tangent of 30.5 degrees is E squared over 56. So now we have reduced our two equations in two unknowns to one equation in one unknown. So let's try and isolate E. So multiplied by 56, so you get 56 tangent 30.5 degrees, which is E squared. Then let's take the square root. So it would be plus minus 56 tangent of 30.5 degrees is E. Let's type this in. The square root of 56 times tangent of 30.5. So E is plus minus 5.74 4, but well, we're doing geometry here. So E is obviously 5.74 units of length. So if this was in square centimeters, this would be in centimeters. And now we're almost done, because we can reuse this thing here, because that's the relationship between F and E. So F is 56 divided by E. So 56 divided by 5.74. So I can reuse the value that is on my calculator by saying 56 divided by the answer from before, and that will be 9.75. I think this is a good moment to sit back for a minute or two and be quite proud of yourself, because this is a difficult exercise. Okay, so 2 pieces of information, and we had to whittle down, reduce the number of unknowns to 1 equation in 1 unknown. We had 2 equations in 2 unknowns, 2 simultaneous equations. We were able, by isolating F and plugging it in here, to whittle it down to 1 equation in 1 unknown. We worked out that 1 unknown, and then we were able to reuse this in order to work out F. It's hard, but not too hard. So have a great one. See you in the next one.